Very pleased with the victory today, but what's frustrating is we played hard, but we just didn't play smart. We had 9 penalties. And if you look at it from a week ago, our offense is it seemed they played very well last week, and then for this week to come out, we just kind of sputtered around in the first half and just never got a rhythm. And defensively, we were able to make some plays to go off the field, which we talked about on third down. We were able to get off the field on third down and created 2 turnovers. But just overall, just looking at the whole team, just special teams, the same thing. Just never got in the flow of the game. We had many penalties in our special teams also. So we just have to play better. You know, we just didn't play very smart today. The preparation wasn't there. And just as a coaching staff, we didn't get our team ready to go play.
You attribute the penalties to anything that you can put your finger on? Or?
No, it's just guys, it's all about when you go play that you're just your mindset. And I don't know, just we had that mindset today to just go and just stay focused up for 60 minutes.
But it wasn't one of those things like, I don't know, Marshall last year where you came out and you said they had the fake juice and you could see it early on or anything like that. It wasn't to that level.
Well, we didn't lose that game. Marshall, we lost that game, so it wasn't at that level because you end up, we played hard. It's just we didn't play smart.
At this point, do you think you can get enough pressure with the front 4, or you have to bring more guys consistently with that group?
Well, you can get the pressure. What's happening is where teams are smart to get the ball out. So it's all 3-step and throwing the ball down the field. I think we ended up with 1 sack. We were able to get pressure only 4 or 5 times where he was able to get away from us. But we have to do a better job of just containing the quarterback. And then when you do break open, just stay on your feet and go make the tackle.
Coach, can you talk about the turnovers today? Is that interception and a fumble recovery? I think they fumbled 3 times. You got 1 of them. Is that more like you want the defense to play?
Well, what happened, at least with turnovers, they created where you can get your offense on the field. They can go set up scores for your offense, and that's why you want to get the ball back in. You look at the one Pascal, end up picking up a fumble and getting it down the field. But we did, Boucher made a really great break on the ball there on the sideline and ended up dropping it there when the ball came out. But if there's someone's going to come in and throw the football, the number of times they threw the ball today and they're going to run the ball, we should be able to get the turnovers.
Talk about the play of Calvin Pryor. It led the team in tackles today, had an interception.
Well, you look at it on special teams, I think he ended up with 2 tackles on special teams, and then he got the big interception there when the ball was thrown up. And Calvin is, each week he's getting better and better, but, you know, he started as a true freshman, and then we feel like he's a player that has a lot of ability, and he's very rangy where he can cover a lot of ground.
Do you expect to see that kind of play so early in the season, something like that?
Oh, yes, because he was a starter last year, so you would think that he will improve and get better, which he's been able to do.
Charlie, did you anticipate throwing the ball as much as you guys did?
What did we end up throwing it?
39 times,
How many?
39.
39? Well, they gave us the throws, too, if you look at us. I mean, the coverage that they play allows us to throw the ball, but you would like to run the ball more than what we did today, and we felt like we just never were able to just open up the holes. You know, what they did was they were able to get up a lot of blocks and just crowd and run, which they did. They loaded the box, so the throws were there for us.
Well, Nate had a good he dropped the 1 touchdown, but he had a good game, and he's really had a good first 2 weeks of this season.
Nate is doing very well, and he's improving. And if you look at Nate, you're right. He got the drop there, but he was able to come back and make the big catch there for a touchdown, which I was really happy for him. Because what you don't want to see is he's worked so hard, and you don't want to see him get down on himself and coming back and bouncing back and catching that touchdown pass. I think it just gave him more confidence where he's playing a lot better. He's blocking better. He's doing everything that we ask him to do.
You told that story about calling him in and asking him, why were you so adamant about keeping him?
Well, because I just felt like there was a young man in our program that could help this program, and he had already graduated. So I said that, you know, Nate, you have another year, so I want to see you come and be successful on the football field, because you've already been successful off the field with your degree. And I said you can give a lot to this football team. I said you don't really want to quit. I didn't think you really wanted to quit. So I said, we're not going to have this discussion. So
He didn't ball.
no, he didn't. I just said we're not going to even talk about it. So you don't need to come in and talk to me, okay? So you can just leave out of it.
Charlie, what was the explanation on the fair catch that I guess Evans got called for penalty on?
official on their sideline said that, the guy waved it for a fair catch, so he was the one that said that he saw the signal.
Before, I mean, like when they showed the replays, we didn't see it, so, I mean, at what point did he do it? Did he do it right when they kicked it?
I have no idea, because I was like, I said, okay, this, I don't ever question the officials, I said, okay, guys, we just have to play smart and don't hit the guy.
10 different receivers caught passes. What's that say about your diversity on offense?
Well, Teddy's doing a great job of spreading the ball around, and I think similar to last week, a lot of guys are catching the ball, and he's finding open receivers. And it's so good, because now, if you watch him, he's looking down the field, and he can feel the pressure, but he's also getting rid of the ball.
How tough is it as a defense to prepare against a quarterback that can hit 10 different receivers?
Well, it's just, you just have to be smart on defense, and I don't know, I don't want to give nobody no real answer on how to defend Teddy, but, they'll figure it out.
Nakatani, 45-yarder, and makes a play. I mean, last week as well, he's a little dinged up, but just on Matt.
Well, he's so happy for Nakatani, because, I'm looking at the yard line, and I said, oh, Kenny's like, he can make it. And I said, you sure? Because at practice, he hasn't been making it from that distance. I said, well, let's go ahead, put him in there and kick it. And it just to see him make it and see the players, because everyone's on the sideline say, okay, or just go knock, it's your turn. But just to watch him drill that ball is so pleasing.
The week before BK, you were saying you were, worried about the kickers. I mean, Ryan Johnson averages 44 yards on punts. You get 2 kickers and make field goals. It makes you feel a lot better after a couple of weeks here.
Oh, you would like to say that, because when you look at Wallace, he can kick the ball. He has a stronger leg than Nakatani. Nakatani is very good close range, but Wallace has a very strong leg. But the thing we have to get better is kicking the ball off. You look at where the ball's dropping. A lot of their balls get kicked out of the end zone. You like to see that from our kickers. We have a leg to do it. It's just a matter of us not trying to kill the ball every time. Just hitting the ball and placing it where it needs to be placed.
You had a short week, you're playing a rival game last game, and this team is an FCS team. How concerned were you about your team letting down, and how much of a letdown did you see?
Well, what you try to talk about all the time is just who we are. Just, guys, we have to get better with our fundamentals. We have to get better with our preparation. When we go play, let's make sure that we don't play to anyone's level. It's all about us each week trying to go get better. And you could see it happening, because with the Kentucky rival, here you are going to beat a really good team in Kentucky. Now you have a short week, so now the preparation, hey, we have to hurry up and try to get these guys moving fast forward. But today, it was just more of, they played hard, but we just didn't play smart.
What was an example of that? Can you give us an example?
Well, just look at the penalties. I mean, we had a penalty where we false started. We had a penalty where we lined up in the neutral zone. You had a penalty with the punt. But it was just all those penalties, the holding calls. I mean, we had a special teams. We had a guy late on special teams. But it's just been smart, just a disciplined football team.
Assuming that there are calls the referees miss now and then, did they play that much smarter last week?
Well, it's just last week we didn't have any penalties, so I guess. But that's what you have to look at, because a week ago you had no penalties, and then today you got 9. So the preparation there, the discipline was there last week. So why can't each week it be where you come in and you play smart and you play discipline and you just play within ourselves. We're football team. Let's do what we have to go do.
It would seem that North Carolina might give you a stiffer competition. You might have looked ahead of the schedule. How vanilla were you today, considering that?
Oh, we weren't vanilla at all, and we haven't looked ahead of the schedule, but that's going to be a good football team. Just because of the history, but we weren't vanilla at all. We played, and this team defense was similar to last week's defense, so the game plan was the same.
In terms of your watching Teddy and seeing what he's like, I'm assuming you're past being surprised. Expectation-wise, is this what you were expecting, or is this even beyond what you were thinking?
Well, that he's a really good football player, and what he's been able to do is just week by week, just go get better and better and better. And he's placing the ball in the right spots. And guys are catching the football, but you have to look at it also, like we're running the ball so well that it's taking pressure off of him. So you see a lot of guys that are wide open, and he's throwing the ball where it needs to be placed. But if we could keep improving at the wide receiver position, today we dropped some balls. You look at North was wide open. I think 7 may have dropped one, or I know it would do a bubble out there. And then the 82 to Eli, he dropped one. But it's all about those guys also making the catches. And then, because it's all about just a total team effort. And offensively, it's about being rhythm and sync, and guys are being able to move guys, which we weren't able to do today in the run game.
Is Dominique Brown, was he held out today just, for further precaution, and he'll be available next week, or is his knee still just a touch and go situation?
Well, it's a week by week with him, so we're gonna try to get him out there next week and see if he can go. If he can't, then we'll just keep riding Jeremy and Sonoris.
And what was it that knocked Jeremy out late in the second before he came back?
Well, we thought it was his ankle, and he said it was his ankle. Then once we brought him inside, and I think it was more when he got the hit, it kind of scared him. And then once he got him, once he got him start walking, then he felt a lot better. Then we got him in here running him around at halftime, and then he was able to go to second half.
Coach Perry was pretty active today in the offense, both rush and catch. Is that more by design? Is that a compliment to their defense, or is that more on the wide receivers not doing what they need to do to get open?
Perry, Sonoris Perry? No, it's not our receivers not getting open. It's, we have plays set up for him, and he was able to run the ball, and then when he's open, we can get the ball out to him. You look at a lot of times, it's always we have a check down, so the check down is a running back. So Teddy used the check down today.
In North Carolina next week, you probably haven't done much tape on them yet, but as far as matchups, do they fit more into the type of stuff you all want to do, where defensively, the last 2 weeks, they had a lot of short passes, a lot of quick releases, style of play for North Carolina?
Well, I just hadn't had a chance to watch them, so if we would be able to get on them tomorrow and then have more information about them. But it's a good football team, so we will. It's a good thing we have them at home.
How bad is Pasco going to get it for getting caught by a quarterback?
And the quarterback was on the ground, he got up and ran it down.
Yeah.
The guy fumbled the ball, he fell down, the ball squirted, and he got up and ran it down. So he's getting it pretty good.
How is it a trend, more and more colleges going to 3-4 defenses? And did that, was that a unique situation out here today? You were talking about, running, maybe you guys didn't have as many holes as you had last week.
No, because we ourselves, we do a lot of 3-4, so it's more than it's what people who they are, and so that's who they are defensively. So they run the 3-4, but we're very multiple on defense. We'll kick into a 3-4, and we'll open up with the Eagles. So we do a lot ourselves with the 3-4. So it's just what they are. That's who they are every down. So it's why we started.
This was the first time we see Charles Gaines out there today showed some of that speed. What did he do this week to show you that he was ready to play for you compared to last week?
Well, he was able to practice, and he came ready to practice it each day. And that's why I said last week he didn't deserve to practice. I mean, he didn't deserve to play. You had to be prepared each week, and you have to come out and practice. It's all about the preparation and practice is going to get you to the game.
And how did you think he played?
Oh, I thought he did pretty well when he was there. He called it, a long ball. They were able to throw him a bubble. But he plays with a lot of energy. It's so much, he brings a lot to the team.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.